as the largest leadership organization in the world that comes from business and professionals from the community. We really need to take very good attention to what our speaker will talk to us today, Rotarian Adonis. The issue, the theme of disruptive leadership is very important in today's business, but also is very important in Rotary. As I said, Rotary is going through very profound changes. We are now elevating ROTARIAN, which is something that is bringing not only new blood, but also a very new way in which Rotarians will need to talk to each other, manage each other. And believe me, I have 3 millennials at home, and it is very interesting to work with young professionals. And we in Rotary, that we have been doing things certain ways, we need to really adapt, not only because of this pandemic and the new normal that is coming, but also to this generational change that is coming into Rotary because of the Elevate ROTARIAN and because of the very normal renewal that has been happening in Rotary for the past 100 years. So I am very, very curious, and I am very delighted to have our fellow Adonis TELLA-DELIS that is going to talk to us about this very, very actual theme of disruptive leadership in an effective change management. So thank you, Andi, for the opportunity for being here. And I remain here at the service of everybody. That I'll leave my contact information in the chat.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, Alberto. This very great speaking and speech. Now, before we start, let's go to Japan to say hey for Noriyuki Nakanishi.
Hello. Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning, Alberto, and good morning, Adonis.
Morning.
Good afternoon, BJ. Yeah, I'm Noriyuki Nakanishi. I joined this meeting from Japan. Andy, thank you for inviting me tonight's event. So I want to enjoy this meeting too. Besides, I want to make a good relationship with other Rotarian and Andy's friend. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Noriyuki-san. And now we move to the speaker, Rotarian Adonis. I think we also more interactive. I give you 30 minutes, and after this we can open the Q&A session. For the Adonis, please welcome, and time is yours.
Thank you so much, President Andi, President Alberto, PPVJ, and all the friends connected here from various countries and districts. I have the great opportunity to address a topic. Can you put the microphone on silence, please? And of course, I will be addressing something that is very dear to my heart, which is a topic of leadership, but especially I will talk about disruptive leadership. And of course, when we talk about disruptive leadership, we are looking at actual change management. I will quickly probably run a certain introduction of myself, which is because for the benefits of all connected here, I would just go ahead with that. So my name is, as I said, Adonis TELLA-DELIS. I'm a Rotarian from District 9102. That includes Benin, Togo, Niger, and Ghana. and I'm a PHF +2. And of course, I'm a leadership and language consultant. I provide consultancy, transformational leadership and guidance, and as well, I am a translator and interpreter, French, English, and Spanish. And of course, I've been the executive director of a consulting firm called BrainLink Africa since July 2007. So I've been a member of, I would say, 2 clubs before my current club. I was then currently for the past, I've been a Rotarian for 5 to 6 years. And I was charter president in 2017, 2018 of my Rotary club, my current Rotary club, Locomotive Ganhi. The next year, I was vice president as a immediate past president and also chairman of the public image committee of my club. Then I became sergeant at arms and deputy trainer of my club. And currently, I'm the chairman of the Rotary, of the training committee of my club. Secondly, I'm also a member and sergeant at arms of the National Training Committee of Rotary BENIN. And for the next year, the governorship really is a responsibility of my country. We currently have a DG who's a first female DG of our district from Ghana. And the next year we'll have the second female DG and the first female DG for my country. And I'll be a chairman of the district young generations committee. So I've attended a couple of training events, and that's what I had to say in terms of my personal profile. Now, I will move to the topic of the day. Sorry about that. The topic of the day is basically disruptive leadership and effective change management. Let us understand one key thing. One key thing for us to understand is disruptive leadership. I've really gotten this article from Paula Albonos, who's a renowned speaker on leadership. And we have to understand, first of all, what disruption is. Disruption has to do with something that can cause abrupt breakdown for many people. But the term is also used to give meaning to something that has experienced major or decisive change. A correct definition would be associated with changing the way people think or the way in which things are done. Now, I have addressed that matter from the bottom point of view of thinking differently, acting differently. And there's no better moment for Rotary to address the issue of disruptive leadership, as President Alberto Palombo has said, than now. For the past year, we are living in a new age, a new normal that we call it, a new normal. But is it that normal for us? Of course. Today, I have a friend in Brazil, a friend in India, a friend in Indonesia, a friend in Japan, in Mali, in Congo, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, even within the same country, we wonder how and when it's going to be possible to be meeting physically, to be having handshakes without any problem. Now, at the same time, how do our clubs, our companies, our institutions function today? The amount of investment that is provided, concentrated in technology today, what is going to happen if we do not take a good control of how our companies and organizations, including clubs, function? It is for us to realize that disruptive leadership is actually anticipating change and making sure that organizations begin to think and look at the world differently. Today, your clients can be far or near. Today, how you run your business should not only take into account the local environment. You should increase your standard, raise your standard so that it meets international caliber of people. The way you address matters today will definitely have a consonance with how people perceive you for close or near. So we have a training component that is very important in our organization. Today, we need to continuously train our members in our clubs, our employees, our partners in our companies, so that they think differently, they act differently. And also, the way we run our policy meetings, our strategy meetings should take into account not just the local environment, but even the global environment. Disruptive leadership is about anticipating a lot of changes, because let me tell you, there are 4 types of intelligence for a leader to be effective. What I call the 4 pillars of effective leadership. The first one is intellectual intelligence. That is ability to think through, to have your brain put to the matter and be able to process knowledge and provide knowledge to people. That is the most common form or known form of intelligence. That is intellectual intelligence. That is generally measured by the intellectual quotient. The second form of intelligence is emotional intelligence. And one of the experts of this type of intelligence is Daniel Goleman, for example, and Phil Gardner. But then mostly Daniel Goleman. But we are looking at the ability to understand your concern, your emotions, to master your emotions and be able to position yourself in a way that are the most effective in terms of your emotional balance, controlling your mood swings. Because let me tell you, an intellectual leader, an intellectually astute leader can have capacity to speak to the brains, but an emotionally balanced leader can speak to the heart of people. And let me tell you, leading effectively is also about leading with your heart, addressing people's concern from your point of view of understanding emotional balance. And when you have emotional intelligence as measured by emotional quotient, you have the ability to know what you as a leader what makes you feel at peace, what puts you out of your own gear, and therefore you're able to master the right environment and right disposition that you need to have to be able to operate effectively. Now, and we move to the third form of intelligence, which is a social intelligence. Now, from yourself, you move to other persons, your counterpart. That is understanding how people are, understanding what they like and they dislike, so that you're able to address them, understanding them, comprehending them, and buying into them and making them buy into your vision. Because when people connect with you socially and emotionally, they are able to engage with you and go all the way to achieving goals with you. And next 2 weeks, I will have a presentation with in PPVJ's club, where I'll be addressing the 5 levels of leadership and its application in Rotary Club. And you realize that people will easily connect with you if they buy into you, if they appreciate you as a person. They are more likely to be to show solidarity to your commitment to whatever you do. And the fourth form of intelligence that will be the most connected to what we are talking about today is change management intelligence. Change management intelligence, that is the ability to anticipate, understand, run, and facilitate change. Because one constant element in life is change. And if we are able to always be at the forefront of change making, we are very likely to control how we impact our environment. And disruptive leadership for us should be a very essential component of our new way of doing things. Of course, a notable example of disruption, as Paola Albornoz would say, is disruption in technological progress, because there are different types of changes that will therefore impact products, services, and how we deliver, and even affect people's mindset about time. Now, disruptive leaders are people who always look for better solutions and better ways to establish new processes to find the ability to make impact on the business as a whole. Now, we look at people like Elon Musk, notable example of Elon Musk, of Tesla, and of course, of Steve Jobs and Jeff Bezos. These are people who anticipated the kind of world that we're going to live in. These are people who put in place new business models. For instance, last time I was giving a presentation to women entrepreneurs, and I was telling them an established business can talk about a business plan, but a startup can never talk about a business plan because that business model is not even existing. You only use a business model based on something that already exists. So you are building things out of the scratch. Now, a disruptive leader will have the mindset of a startup CEO within an established organization. He will come in to provide a new way of looking at things. Now, whenever we talk about global or governmental leadership, in the 80s, there was the youngest head of government in the world, Rajiv Gandhi, who said that the next phase of evolution of the world will be the information society, and that the youth of India were going to be prepared, we have to be prepared to take over the information age. And today, mind you, India is a leader in technological changes and management. And even in the Silicon Valley, 70% of professionals who are running companies are from India. Now, this is someone's vision that was bought into by an entire country. Rajiv Gandhi didn't stay in office for 10, 20 years, but just that mindset was able to affect the way that country behaves towards information society and understanding the requirement for technology. And today we should understand that Zoom, those who bought stakes or shares in Zoom in the 90s or early 2000s, they felt like one more investor. But today these people have realized that they have a gold mine that they had access to. Because today, every other organization, 80% of video conferencing activities is taking place on one platform that's called Zoom. But does it mean that Zoom was ahead of its time? Probably yes. But now what do we do in our organization to ensure that we structure our meetings, our activities in a way that we are more effective? How do we capitalize on this new level of connection that we have through international business and Rotary connection? This is for us to think, what's next? Creating proper cooperation, international and global grants, international service exchange, international friendship exchange, and how do we make Rotary a very stronger force of change and impact? This is up to us to be disruptive leaders in our club, in our communities, in our district zones, and the world. I think that today we are going to have more interactions to begin to build a new way of doing things and maintaining that cooperation. It's not about having a lecture, but basically creating a sense of discussion out of those key elements. We are potentially great disruptive leaders if you have an open mind, a sense of impact, and change management. Thank you very much.
Okay, Adonis, it is a very great presentation, great speaker. You talk about destructive leadership. Yeah, I remember destructive, destructive innovation from Clayton Christensen. Uh, we know that Clayton Christensen is the one of the guru of Harvard, uh, popular with destructive innovation. It's mean how the startup, how the point is destructive innovation is how do the startup move and change the
course of
market
things.
from the patana, yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
And,
I mean, in marketing, you have to anticipate how the market behaves and change, getting the market behave as you understand it. And also change and influence the mindset of customers and adapting actually your strategy to suit the market. So you disrupt totally the flow of product and service delivery. Exactly. Yes. Okay. So it's all about change management.
Yeah. This is about change management. Okay. For the participant, I think I have many students here in management, from bachelor degree and master degree. Please feel free if you want to comment and ask something. And all the Rotarian, I think Adil Rafiq welcoming to the session. Yeah, thank you for the joining, Adil Rafiq.
President Andy, may I suggest that those that want to speak, please to raise your hand electronically in the chat.
With the raise hand, anyone raise hand? No, not yet. Yeah, thank you. Okay, please. Yeah, okay. Okay. We're still waiting for the question and response, and I will be give some question for Adonis. Uh, Regarding you, or what your opinion? Uh, how do can you share about the tools? How do the leadership can change and doing destructive. Do you have tools or what kind of, yeah?
Now, the key, you're talking about tools that leaders can use to provide disruptive leadership or really ensure disruption. Now, the key, the first thing that leaders will be concerned about is that they think a lot. They think a lot. They may have received whatever degree in university or not, but they commit themselves to lifelong learning, always committing themselves to learning, always engaging their brain. One key element of successful disruptive business leadership is, one thing is thinking through and making sure that they keep learning and embracing new levels of knowledge. It is key because for you to provide change, you need to know what you're talking about. You need to inspire confidence in people. So the only way to inspire confidence in people is for people to be confident, or to trust your level of knowledge, to have the assurance, the guarantee that, oh, this guy is not taking us to, into disarray. Second thing is people who will provide disruptive leadership will always accept or, push to the limits a certain approach, culture, legal, ethical boundaries, because these people, they're always exploring new things. So sometimes it could be extreme because people will think that this guy is going too far, he's changing things too fast and it's going too far. But at least they believe that the status quo cannot be accepted for long. Third thing is those people have the ability of changing their own way of thinking. Questioning their own thinking so that they have the open mind to change things in life. Fourth thing is information, inspiration. They look for it anywhere, any opportunity for them to get new level of knowledge. They keep asking questions because they want to change things. And the business that they provide is always based on certain key values, providing goods and services that probably were only available to a few before. They try to make it available to many more people, making sure that they have access to those who were not available. When you look at the issue of microfinancing that with Grameen Bank in Bangladesh with Muhammad Yunus, you have the banking to the poor. And you realize that if the poor have such a proportion percentage in the population of a country like Bangladesh or even the world over, making sure that we find a way of banking the poor could be a way of not only uplifting these people out of poverty, but providing new ways of growth and pushing away or removing the limits to economic and financial growth. One thing again is those people understand that there is a system that will need to be changed gradually so that the negative effects of the system can be limited. For instance, when you talk about this issue of capitalism, at some point, people were like, capitalism seems to be the winner of the Cold War. But we realized that the global effects and negative effects of capitalism was so much that we had to change the way things worked. And our companies had to become more flexible. Employees had to be given more power to be able to express their need and be part of decision making. Also, we have changes in companies. They realize that they have to find the right funding, the right approach, the right training for the new jobs, the new opportunities that should be embraced. And finally, they make sure that those people have their investors, their employees, and others connected to the companies, because they have made their companies an opportunity seeker, an opportunity offerer, and people are able to connect with them. And that's why those people generally become immeasurably and terribly wealthy, because people connect necessarily with them and buy into them, and they become a household name easily because they have addressed things from a very disruptive point of view and have tried to change totally the way things were done before. I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you. My President Alberto, I see our DG, Sandra Diaz. This will join.
Yes, I just
Yeah.
wanted to welcome our Governor-elect Sandra Gonçalves Diaz from the city of Trindade in our district 4530 here in the central region, central west region of Brazil. So
welcome DG
Governor.
Sandra. Welcome DG Sandra. Welcome.
And Sandra is a revolutionary governor.
Awesome.
She has big plans for transforming lives next year. So
awesome.
She's putting together a good district team. If I may, President Andi, to make a couple comments on Adonis' presentation.
Yes.
I believe that, well, first of all, Adonis, thank you very much for the presentation. You manage, you have an ability I don't have, which is synthesis. You can say a lot of things, important things in very few words in a very compressed time. And that is important because today we don't have the luxury of waiting to do a lot of going around and understand the whole world in order to act. Okay, exactly. We need to have tools that allow us to first understand the big picture, to understand the opportunities, to anticipate, as you well said. Now, how would we apply this to inside Rotary? How do we get how do we get the disruptive change to Rotary, and how can we Rotarians from around the world that are interested in this theme, what should we take? What message should we take to our district leaderships for the Rotary that is going to be in the near future and midterm?
I will thank you, President Alberto. I will take you to the team message of then President-elect and now President Olga Knack. And he said, Rotary as we used to know it may not continue to be. First of all, what is the ideal image that we have of our clubs? Is it the lunch or dinner kind of club? People between 45 and 70 having a good time once in a while? People who seemingly have made it in life? When we have today a road track that is elevated, and based on that, there's a transition from road track to Rotary, where we have younger people joining Rotary, but younger people with a great level of experience in club service. It means that even our structure, the way we open our clubs to younger people, open our clubs to new technology, new ways of doing things, people have to be given voices. Their voices have to be heard in the clubs. It's not about the oldest member being the most listened to. Even the oldest member has to be willing to think that, oh, these young people have an amount and a wealth of knowledge, understanding of the new way the world is going, that I better listen to them so that I remain relevant as a leader. So the first level of change is the change of the mindset of our club and district leaders. Very soon, you have Sandra, and you have younger and younger governors in Rotary, younger and younger zone coordinators, younger and younger board members in Rotary. That means that Rotary will definitely have to operate not like in 1905 or in 1916, but in 2025, 2030. And that approach requires humility. And I believe that humility is one trait that leadership in Rotary teaches us more. Today, you are the president, and by next year, you become a past president, and your president, your current PE, has a level of protocol precedence that you don't have anymore. That alone shows that Rotary evolves very fast, and we need to embrace that change. And I believe that a good connection between Rotary and Rotary is a key to a sustainable change and effectively disruptive leadership in Rotary.
Thank you. Excellent.
Okay, we move to the India, Dilip Ramkar. I know it is my vice
Raise your
president
hands.
India.
Yeah.
Please. Okay.
Okay, can I ask a question to the Adonis?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for the correct presentation. So I have a question. How does leader communicate with the group member when our environment changes drastically? Okay, just like the COVID-19 or so. How?
We
It's about
need
communicating.
communication.
Communicating,
Yeah, the communication has two things: the message and the channel. The message should be a message of hope and empathy, but the channels could change. In the place of physical communication, we may revert to virtual communication, but the message should be a message of hope, a message of solidarity, and a message that we are in this period to be able to understand how the world is changing. And we should be the change makers and not being the people who undergo or suffer the effect of changes. We are supposed to be the one driving change and not really undergoing change or maybe being at the receiving end of change. So the message and the channels. For the sake of good health and protecting people, we may resort to virtual communication. That doesn't change the quality of the message, the empathetic level and nature of the message. That should not change. Because if we show empathy to people, we make them buy into what we believe in. We are ensuring that the future of our clubs, our organization is guaranteed because people are emotionally attached to the organization and they are ready to give more. There are many companies that have said, listen, we need to do more and get paid less. But believe you me, it is for us to prepare a new environment that will benefit even generation yet unborn. And people have been ready to do extra hours with less pay because they bought into a vision. They bought into the kind of leadership that was offered them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think Adonis,
Yes.
can you more detail explain about how do leadership communicate the idea and the one of the role of the leadership is how to uh, attracting and how to drive the follower.
Yes.
But in the pandemics, in all the limited situation, uh, I think it's not easy to communicate our employee, our members, just using the Zoom meeting, using the technology.
Yes.
Uh, in case maybe you have sharing, or you can explain another case the company, how the CEO from the company, multinational company, to drive the members and leading the members to achieve the objective using technology. I think is technology matter for to disruptive leadership?
I must say that technology plays a key role in providing what I would call disruptive leadership and ensuring change management. Most of the things that have affected the world for the past couple of months, I would say 1 year, have been dealt with from the point of view of health reforms, gestures, and safety measures, but also communication, telecommunications, and technological innovation. Now, technology is meaningless if there's no vision behind technology. Let's not forget that. That is why I said we have the tools, but also the content, the message. You have to find a way of keeping in touch with your employees, your members, your partners, your colleagues, even though there's a new dispensation that requires us that we be careful in terms of our health behaviors. The message does not change, but the message becomes maybe more emphatic and more humane because people are distant socially. So we need to make sure that when we need to spend time calling people individually, messaging people individually, and having maybe conference calls, Zoom or even WhatsApp meeting, to be able to keep that connection going. Because when people are connected emotionally, even if they're not connected physically, the way you build that connection, emotional connection, will ensure that people have trust in the organization and provide more commitment to the organization. The key is buying into people's heart and having them buy into your vision of building an organization for the future. And that we are all confronted one way or the other with the new reality that may have negative aspects, but also have many positive aspects. It's for us to sell that to our members, company, clients, partners, and the community at large.
Yeah, okay. I think we have still time, still 10 minutes and 15 minutes. After that, we can fellowship. Yeah. My DG Sandra, maybe you want to comment or you want to say something? Yeah.
DG Sandra Diaz?
Governor Sandra had to leave the meeting because she's of the judiciary here in Brazil, and she just had a call. She was just telling me that she was about to leave the meeting now.
Oh, okay, but just a little word from her.
Sandra, I see that you're still around, so
still around,
if you want to make a comment, please do.
Or DG Sandra can just say hey. You can use Spanish or English. It's no problem.
Alberto,
Sim, pode falar,
can translate.
Vai traduzindo aí, deixa eu deixar uma mensagem para eles.
Ok.
Então tá, bom dia, queridos companheiros.
Good morning and good evening, everyone, my dear fellow Rotarians.
Estou muito grata pelo convite e daqui do coração do Brasil, eu quero desejar muito sucesso para todas as iniciativas tomadas por estes clubes valorosos que realmente engrandecem o Rotary.
I am very, first of all, I want to salute everybody and thank the Rotarians that have this idea of having these meetings, international meetings to bring Rotarians together. And this is very important to our organization. from the heart, from the central heart of Brazil, she's saying geographically.
Estamos nos capacitando para dirigir o Distrito 4530.
We are now undergoing our capacity building within our district in order to bring the leadership up to date for next year in our District 4530.
Com uma equipe arrojada para fazer a diferença.
With a very, very disruptive, a very disruptive team to make the difference next year.
E dentre os companheiros está aqui, ó, presente o nosso querido Alberto Palombo, que estará presidindo a Comissão Distrital de Projetos.
And among those, that disruptive team, there is this Rotarian friend, Alberto Palombo, who will be the Community Service District Chair for next year.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
A sua esposa, a nossa querida, aqui como nós chamamos de Cacá, estará presidindo a Comissão Distrital do Meio Ambiente, a mais nova área de enfoque.
And also, Kaka, who happens to be my wife, she is going to be the coordinator, district coordinator for the environment, the newest and novel theme or cause adopted by Rotary around the world.
Então, meus companheiros, eu fico muito feliz em ser destacada como a governadora desse distrito, e nós vamos fazer Rotary. Nós precisamos servir para transformar vidas, e só vamos alcançar esse êxito com foco nas pessoas.
Okay, and we are really we are making all this in order to serve and transform lives, and the success of this task will be based on our focus on people, on helping people.
Precisamos desenvolver pessoas, desenvolver habilidades, inclusive tecnológica, porque é o que temos para o momento em virtude desta triste pandemia.
We need to really focus on developing people, on capacity building for people, and not only in terms of their leadership, but also technologically, in order for them to surpass this pandemics that we are going through.
Tenhamos fé, tenhamos esperança. Somos os olhos e os ouvidos do mundo. Vamos todos servir e transformar vidas. Meu carinho, muito obrigada a todos.
We need to do all this with a lot of faith, keeping hope, and we are at this moment the eyes and the ears of the community, and we owe this to them. So thank you very much for the opportunity and for highlighting me to be in this meeting.
Muito obrigado.
Thank you, DG Sandra. Yeah. Okay, can give applause. Yeah, virtual applause for DG Sandra. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Alberto, for the translator tonight.
She understands English very well, but she is shy to speak it. So, okay. She's my governor, so I need to do as she pleases.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, we still have 10 minutes. Yeah. Want to please comment or ask anything? Want to sharing for the Disruptive Leadership, Vice President Dilip Rampukar. How are you? Okay, Priya Bhagat, Rotarian Priya Bhagat. Yeah. Okay, Vijay. Vijay.
Vijay, yeah, around.
Vijay from India. We have 3 or 4 from Rotarian India. From India, Rotarian. Thank you for tonight. Okay, for my student.
Your students are kind of shy today.
Yeah, Sai. Hello, Priya. Okay, Priya, do you want to comment? I see you turn on your video.
Priya has a question here in the chat.
In the
How
chat.
is
Oh, okay.
post-pandemic business activity? How
Oh,
expected
I don't see. Yeah,
to
okay.
associate regards Dr. Bhagat says India?
How is post-pandemic business activity? How you expect India to associate? Oh, of course. It's obvious that post-pandemic business is based on thinking outside the box and also looking at possibilities, limitless possibilities of partnership. And of course, India is a wonderful environment to consider cooperating. Personally, I spent, for those who don't know, I spent 11 months and 3 weeks in India, and I've really experienced how things work and how a business and technology make the country work. And I believe that any opportunity of cooperating will be something that we are open to. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, from a business perspective or Rotary perspective, I'll be open to cooperate, and I've left my details in the chat. But I think that business post-pandemic has to be internationally and technologically driven, for sure, because we need to keep making sure that what we lose in terms of physical connection, we buy or increase it in terms of virtual connection so that we can still create a bigger network.
Okay.
If may I add,
Yeah,
because
please.
the issue of environment is also very important now coming into Rotary officially. We always have had environmental projects associated to any of the other 6 focal areas, but now having the focus on the environment and sustainability is also a perspective that needs to be considered in this new normal, the issue of sustainability and resilience in the community. In other words, we are now going through all these pandemics, and even though there was some in the very, let's say, limited circles of think tanks, there was always a fear that something like this would happen. And indeed it happened. Probably not as soon as everybody would have wanted. But the fact is that with all this situation, it changes the game, even for Rotary. Rotary, not only because we are giving us all this opportunity of meeting all this wealth of information and friendships that we have around the world, that we always had, we always knew that we had it, but we didn't know how to access it. So that is, in essence, a disruptive approach. And in the way that now we as Rotarians, not only in our business, in our families, but also we need to take all these concepts of disruption in the positive way, okay, because of all this profound situation that we are living, but also to bring better opportunities, which is the theme of this year. And from this moment on, from July 1st on, we need to transform lives, and we need to adopt, to insert the sustainability for real. It's not only sustainability financially speaking of the projects, but the sustainability that everything that we do is in harmony with our surrounding environment, with water, with the biodiversity, adaptation to climate change, all these activities driving the low carbon and economies and low carbon processes and nature-based solutions. In other words, observing nature to really find solutions even in our cosmos, human cosmos, which is within a very larger ecosystem, the cosmos as a whole. So it is, Adonis, very, your talk was very, very well-centered. I mean, this theme that, and thank Andi for having this wonderful idea. I think that we all need to embrace it, go back to our homes, to our districts, and think a lot about what we heard today and how we can be of service to transform lives from this point on through Rotary and through our work.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. The Environment Crusader.
Yeah, environment issue is our news focus in Rotary. Okay, all, thank you for your coming. I think it is a very wonderful meeting. It's a very great topic, destructive leadership, and give applause to Vice President Adonis Tella. Yeah,
Thank you.
big applause.
Thank you.
And you give some insight, a new insight for us, yeah, and for the student and all the Rotaracs and the Rotarian join this evening. I am President Andi MASSEPE. So thank you for your join and your participation tonight. And after this, we can move to the fellow session. Thank you very much. If you want to any fellow, please welcome. And my student, you can still stay or you can leave the session at the end. But if you want to leave, you can stay. Ya, untuk mahasiswa silakan. Ini sekarang sesi bebas, Anda bisa move atau tetap berada di sini. Ya, oke, Alberto, how are you? Wah, Adil Rafiq, hello, Adil Rafiq, have you get good well? Rafiq? Rotarian Army.
I have a president of Rotary Club of Niamey Gawe, President Mustafa Ahmed.
Well, okay.
He is a president of Rotary Club of Niamey Gawe in Niger, which is part of my district.
Where is
Niger?
Mustafa?
President Mustafa is there. President Mustafa Ahmed Tijani.
Mustafa, oh, okay. Mustafa.
My president.
Okay.
I also have my sponsored fellow, Marcos Diaz, here
Marcos, yes,
in the crowd. He is also very fond of these themes of innovation and disruptive leadership. So
we can
I'm sure that he enjoyed very
Marcos
much this
for the next meeting, Alberto.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try to convince him.
Yeah, I think he's your club member.
Yeah, I have a way to convince my sponsored fellows. You know, it's either you speak, you give a lecture, or you pay $100 to the Rotary Foundation.
Yeah. To pay $100.
Interesting.
Yeah,
You
so,
don't know how many Paul Harris I have already
oh my,
gathered through using that technique. I recommend it to everybody.
how
Okay.
many? You are Paul Harris. Yeah, because it's Wednesday, so many meetings. Yeah, Adonis, I have
Yes,
so many personally messages. They
exactly.
cannot join because they
Yeah,
are
we can go
meeting.
now.
It is,
We make a date for another event, and we keep cooperating. You know, let those meetings be the beginning of greater cooperation and action together. And it's my pleasure to have been here.
Okay.
Next 2 weeks, I will be with PPVJ. I'm showing
Yeah.
just
Can you
showing
share you can
yeah,
share.
I'm showing the picture. Are you there?
Not
This will
yet.
be. Are you seeing my screen?
Okay.
Yes, we see it.
Yeah, that will be in 2 weeks' time. That will be 2:30 p.m. UK time, 8 p.m. India time.
UK.
Yes. That is GMT. Yeah, UK time. You know, you have UK time there, so you can easily. I will send the slides and the link for those who want to join, and definitely that will be a great pleasure to see you there. Yeah.
How many participants do you want to? You're planning your target because now
Oh,
it's
you see.
very difficult to I mean to invite to join the meeting now because there's so many meeting and I think we will be we must to thinking out the box to arrange
Yes.
a good meeting. uh, I know it's very hard to invite the
Yeah,
Rotarian to
we invite Rotarians.
yeah,
Those who are available will
but
join.
it's
That's it. Those who are available will join. There's nothing imperative. Those who are available
yeah.
it's not a problem. You know. Yes.
Adonis, can you prepare that presentation in Spanish?
I will prepare that. I'll prepare that. I'll prepare that. I'll prepare that. Why not? I'll prepare
Just
that.
work on that, and
Okay.
we can have one in Portuñol and one in Espanol.
No problem. No problem. I'll do that.
And I
I'll do
can
that.
help you to in Bahasa and Malayu and
Great.
Malaysia.
Great.
Yeah, you have so
Exactly.
many.
No problem.
We all need Bahasa. We all need Bahasa
Malaysia.
training here.
Please send me. Yeah, we have 3 countries using Malaysia,
Yeah.
Indonesia, and
Singapore. Oh,
Singapore also.
Singapore also. Yeah.
Malaysia, Malaya. Yeah.
Okay, so all the best and see you soon.
Okay.
Have a nice day.
Okay, all.
Thank
Bye
you very
Okay,
much.
thank you, President, and for the all participants. Yeah, thank you. And,
Okay.
will be end all the meeting.
Okay.
Goodbye, Norijoki.
Goodbye, Nori.